Kjartan is preordaining. Kjartan seems to be on a combo deck. And now we have sound again. Perfect. So, sorry for any missed opportunities or technical difficulties there regarding the sound. Kjartan looks to be on a combo deck, mono blue from what I can see. And Jesper is probably on a more, Sultai deck. We're not sure quite yet. Jesper was mulliganing a bit, so he's down a few cards.
Alright.
While Kjartan is just setting up his hand. He might be on high
difficulties. We're trying to resolve them as quickly as possible and jump straight back into the action. So, Kjartan has been working on setting up a good hand, while Jesper seems to be on a more mid-range version of Sultai deck with Tassiger here. So both doing what their decks are supposed to do, I guess, with a setup and producing a good threat here from Jesper.
Kjartan is on Omni-tell, isn't he?
That might be Omni-tell, indeed. It seems mono blue at any rate, so...
Yeah, so that...
Yeah. So if we can resolve show and tell here, that would be awesome. Yeah, that's a show and tell.
That's a show and tell, and here it comes.
Let's see if Jesper has something to fight over it.
No, he doesn't want that to resolve.
And Jesper seems to be on the Foodchain deck as well. Exiling a Mist Hollow Griffin. So I assume that he's more of a combo deck himself as well.
Double Foodchain here. Wow.
Wow. So we get to see a sweet deck 2 rounds in a row. That's amazing. This matchup is quite different though, as Kjartan is on a completely different strategy than what we saw in the previous round. And Kjartan fighting back with a force of will there, putting in Omniscience. And if you're not familiar with what Omniscience does, it makes all your spells cost 0 mana, pretty much. You can cast your spells without paying the casting cost for them. So...
Which seems like a pretty good effect.
Seems pretty good, yes. I could consider playing a card like that, I suppose. If it didn't cost 10 or 11 mana. But when you get it for 3, well, that seems fair.
It does.
Yeah.
And what Kjartan does now is that he's chaining cantrips to find, either that big spaghetti guy or perhaps a cunning wish for options in his board.
Yeah, he just needed to find something, and he found something. So when you get all your spells for free, it doesn't really matter what options you have.
No, I suppose not.
You just find something, and the game is over quite quickly. So Jesper needs to find more disruption in order to deal with that deck, and it seems like he's bringing in Trinisphere.
Yeah, that's a very good card against Omniscience if it's not too late already.
Yeah, but I assume Jesper is going to be on the play here, and if he can get a turn 1 Deathrite into turn 2 Trinisphere, then he's in a great position, because all the cantrips from Kjartan will be pretty much clunky.
Yeah.
And, well, not unusable, but, well, clunky. So the setup from Kjartan will be much more difficult, and Jesper will be able to fight back in a much higher rate. Yeah, Jesper seems to be on a pretty standard Foodchain deck, I guess. But
here we have some deck lists.
here we have one deck list at least.
Oh yeah.
So we can talk about the sideboard here from Kjartan.
Which is very interesting because of the supposed Cunning Wish in his deck. But I can't see any Cunning Wish, no?
He seems to be running without it, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is.
Alright, so he opts for a more main deck version with the solid sideboard cards that aren't necessarily wishable.
And instead he has increased the amount of emeralds in the main. Has this...
Yeah, and he seems, we didn't see it in game 1, but he has some nice options for this deck. We can see it when he flips through his sideboard here, that he is actually splashing black in his Omniscience deck. So he opts to go for the more disruptive element of Thoughtseize instead of in his sideboard, instead of perhaps
having a toolbox there
Yeah.
for Cunning Wish,
Yeah.
which there are of course merits to both versions.
Oh, yeah.
And it actually will be very interesting what you can do with that, because I believe the Cunning Wish version is in a sense more common.
Yeah, that's what you usually see out of an Omniscience deck, because resolving a single Cunning Wish gets you any card you want, pretty much.
Yeah.
So you can both have counter spells in your sideboard to protect your combo, or the game finishing spells in your sideboard to really just win whenever you resolve your combo.
Yeah, a very usual card to have there is the very expensive Firemind's Foresight, which allows you to get a 1-mana casting cost spell, a 1 for 2 and a 1 for 3, which provides you the card advantage you might need to just continue chaining spells. And costing 7 is of course not a problem with the Omniscience in play.
No. Once you have Omniscience in play, you just cast your spells no matter the cost. And getting a Firemind's Foresight gets you a new Cunning Wish and Brainstorms or whatever you need in order to protect it, or Daze or something to really just be able to set up your win.
Yep.
So you get a great toolbox from those cards, but we're gonna see if Jesper has the disruption needed to stop the combo from Kjartan here. So this is gonna be interesting, as Kjartan really needs the setup and all the pieces, and Jesper is trying to disrupt the pieces so they won't be able to set up the combo as easily. And Jesper seems happy with his 7-card hand, so it's it could be an interesting game. If he has disruption to stop the combo, then we can see something really nice here, I believe.
Do you think that since both decks are combo decks in a sense, but Jesper has the mid-range option as well, do you think he might consider, is there a possibility that he might side out the combo and just go for disruption and sticking a threat early, and is he able to do that?
That might be a strategy. I believe it might be a bit too slow, because you want to finish the game. You want the disruption pieces in order for your opponent to not be able to execute his combo, but you need to finish the game in a timely fashion, because so that your opponent doesn't get to draw in the pieces that he needs.
Yep. Yeah.
So I would probably lean on the side of keeping the combo in his deck,
Yes.
but perhaps shaving a few numbers here and there to rely a bit less on it and disrupt a bit more.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah. The turn 1 Ponder from Jesper, setting up his own, both combo and deck. And Jesper having more of a mid-range shell might be really good in this matchup, as he has a backup strategy that's really difficult to disrupt from Kjartan. Kjartan really needs to just execute his combo as quickly as possible in order to win this game.
Yeah, for certain. That is what his deck does.
Yeah.
And he has probably brought in some sideboard options here to facilitate making that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, he has some great protection from counter magic in his both main deck and sideboard, and just playing an island on turn 1 with the Brainstorm in hand, perhaps using it to set up something a bit later. Jesper with the Cabal Therapy, that is really big.
What do you name here?
The first inclination for me would be to just name Force of Will in order to be able to resolve Cabal Therapy again. It seems like Yeah, he might have named Forceful actually, just to be able to get through his own magic. But he has Kjartan has a Flusterstorm. I believe that's from his sideboard. Yeah, no, he actually has no main deck as well.
Yeah.
To be able to protect, well, his hand if need be. And Jesper with the Death Right. Let's see if he flashes back the therapy. No, he opts not to. Respecting the Flusterstorm, I assume.
Yes, I think the Deathrite Shaman can provide so much advantage in the following turn, so he wants to keep it.
Yeah. There's no rush, given that you've seen the content of Kjartan's hand, so you can just disrupt it later on, perhaps even getting more value from it. When Kjartan has the fetch land in play, his Brainstorm becomes much better, and it's much more difficult to resolve the Cabal Therapy in a good way. But Jesper has another Cabal Therapy. Kjartan does the responsible thing and brainstorms in response, given Jesper knows a few cards, but there's no guarantee that they'll still be in the hand after this brainstorm has done resolving. And wow, do you see that sideboard card? Is it what I think it is?
I didn't see actually.
It might be my eyes playing tricks on me. I thought I saw a really spicy card, but it might not be what I thought it was. No, it probably wasn't. So I apologize for that.
Here, of course, Kjartan wants to hide a very important card on top of his deck, but it will still be a small mind game here.
Yeah.
What has he kept, and what has speaking to Jesper is that he knows that Kjartan has a fetch land, so he wants to get as much value as that of possible, but still wants to hide a card, so he will probably throw away a card and then keep a show and tell or something if he has that. I haven't seen really on top.
Yeah, I believe he
Or
has.
Omniscience.
Yeah, I believe he has both Omniscience and Show and Tell among the cards he's looking at. And well, if he keeps both on top, then he doesn't really have the option to combo off. But well, let's see what Jesper names here. So this is a really difficult position, and it's a lot of mind games involved in this Cabal Therapy. Kjartan really needs to, well, predict what Jesper is gonna name, and Jesper needs to counter-predict what Kjartan thinks he's gonna name.
And then the chain might go on as well. What can you
Yeah.
counter-predict the counter-prediction?
This is... Oh, and the Vendilion click for the perfect information.
Wow.
This is huge if it resolves.
And we have seen the Flusterstorm, but there is also...
Yeah, but the Flusterstorm, both he would need to shuffle away the cards that he hid,
True.
and
but-
it can't counter Vendilion click.
But what I was about to say was that there is also Force of Will there,
Yeah,
which can deal with the click.
yeah, for sure. And let's see what the Cabal Therapy names here. If he manages to hit, it's really big for the outcome, I believe. A double Flusterstorm Show and Tell.
Wow, that is
Keeping the Omniscience on top, I'm assuming.
that is a great play by Kjartan there.
Yeah.
Predicting that Jesper won't name Flusterstorm, and then he opts to keep a second one that he found on his brainstorm, supposedly.
And if Jesper flashbacks to get value and take the Flusterstorm, Kjartan just wins.
Yeah.
Would you go for the Show and Tell here, given that you have no enablers for it? You just basically enable your Flusterstorms?
I don't think I would. I'm not personally a combo player. I like to play safe, and
Yep.
control decks suits me personally very well in
Yep.
that manner. But still, he has the double Flusterstorm and if he has another mana source, he knows that he can get value out of those. But now, since the game has gone on for a few turns, Jesper is able to resolve a Trinisphere, and that.
And this is really interesting as well, because even if an Omniscience comes down through the Trinisphere, I believe you have to pay 3 mana for each spell.
That's correct. It's the order of cost reductions and increases is that first you have the reductions, including set reductions, like Omniscience sets the mana cost to 0. Then after that you have increases, and then well, jokingly, some people call it the Trinisphere category because it's only one card in it. It's Trinisphere, which sets the mana cost to 3 no matter what, and it happens the last.
Oh, alright, yeah. So the Trinisphere category is the last category, so every spell will cost at least 3 mana, no matter how you play it or other effects that are in play.
That is correct.
So it really offsets the Omniscience in a big way, and it's a huge problem for Kjartan to deal with. So this is a great position for Jesper. He just, well, Kjartan really, even if he resolves an Omniscience, he would need to find a card like Emrakul to cast for 3 mana off it, and it's the next turn, so he needs to both resolve the Show and Tell, getting in the Omniscience, and having it survive to the next turn.
Yeah, at the very least, from Jesper's point of view, this buys him a lot of time.
Yeah. And Jesper having options in the Foodchain combo could perhaps just finish the game easier than Kjartan would. So, yeah, Kjartan putting in, Tidespout Tyrant. Wow, that's a huge play.
Yeah, that's nice.
Wow. And if you're not familiar with this card, Tidespout Tyrant says that whenever you play a spell, or is it something like that, you get to return a permanent to its owner's hand. So you put it into play from Show and Tell, and Kjartan is not able to play anything after it.
No,
So Jesper can just play any spell and bounce the Omniscience back to Kjartan's hand, and he's in a great position to just sweep this game right now.
Yeah, the combination of Trinisphere and Tidespout Tyrant, I've never seen it before, but it's easy to say that it's a powerful combination.
Yeah.
And yeah, Kjartan just scoops it up.
that was really great. Interesting sideboard tech from Jesper there in the Tidespout Tyrant, because I believe it's not a main deckable card in that deck.
No, maybe he has it as a counter to Show and Tell.
Yeah.
But it's very easy in that deck though to include one-offs like that because of the Fierce Empath that finds you a creature.
And it's really good with the Mist Hollow Griffins, since you recast them any number of times.
Yeah.
So you can bounce the entire board of the opponent.
Yep.
So, wow. That was really cool to see.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That Show and Tell just backfiring in a big way. That Trinisphere locking up the options from Kjartan, so... wow, that was really cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Jesper really...
And Jesper really had a lot of tools there, which he used very well the whole game. I mean, the whole Cabal Therapy Vendilion Click situation, which forced Kjartan to do something, and then following up on that, Trinisphere, which was then more safe.
He knew. He could assume that Kjartan was out of counter magic, and he saw only the Flusterstorms as counter magic.
True.
So the Trinisphere was safe from resolving. So that was really good.
Yeah, I think both players, they have executed this excellently, but Jesper manages to outsmart his opponent and take the game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Kjartan being on the play here is quite big in the matchup, since he really just wants to get to 3 mana as quickly as possible, setting up as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's true.
So Jesper really needs to find the sideboard cards in Tidespout Tyrant or Trinisphere pretty quickly, so that Kjartan can't resolve the show and tell as easily.
Very true. And even if Omni-tell most often isn't as fast as the at present day dying deck Sneak-in Show. I mean, people probably still play it and it's a great deck, but Omni-tell isn't as fast as that, mostly because of lack of Lotus Petals and City of Traitors and lands like that. Kjartan plays a few, and most Omni-tell players do, but he can't really go off on turn 1.
No.
But he is on the play now, and even if Jesper has a Trinisphere, and Kjartan, then Kjartan has the 1 or 2 turns where he can ignore it completely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if Kjartan just gets an Omniscience into play, then he's able to cast his big spells in a big way.
Yeah.
Even if they cost 3 mana, they're still quite big.
Yeah.
Miracle for 3 mana seems like a fair deal.
Seems like a. I would pay that.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, you would. I would probably just put it into play from show and tell, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, well, you can't get everything every time, I guess. So, Jesper taking a mulligan once again. He doesn't really have had much luck with his starting hands, except for game 2, where he had a great start with a double Cabal Therapy and the Death Rite and, well, everything he needed. Seems like a keep once he resolved his mulligan here. And Kjartan, once again, just setting up his hand. He needs to find the right pieces and, well, be able to execute his game plan according to those pieces.
Yeah, last game he had Brainstorm Fetchland combo, which is of course very, very potent, but he didn't have another cantrip for turn 1.
No.
And he really wants to use as much mana as is possible to really sculpt his hand to be as good as possible for final execution.
Yeah, and that's the power of these cantrips. They really just makes you able to do something huge a few turns later. Because playing a do-nothing spell, a cantrip like Ponder, it seems awkward at times, but it really just sets up the later turns in such an impactful way that it's really, you don't see it clearly on the card, but it's really impacts the game in a huge way.
Very true. The card in the vacuum seems very innocuous,
Yep.
but in the context with other cantrips and very powerful 2-card combos, it creates a win consistency that is pretty high.
Unparalleled in other formats,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
say. Yeah, Brainstorm being restricted in Vintage really impacts the consistency of that format in a way, I would say.
Yeah.
Even though Vintage is a slightly more powerful format.
Slightly. No, there is a reason for Brainstorm being restricted there.
Oh, for sure.
The format must still feel powerful, but a line must be drawn as well.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see if Jesper can find some disruption in this game. He did not do much so far, but that Ponder might have yielded him some, and this Brainstorm might yield him some disruption, which he really needs in order to battle Kjartan's deck here. It looks like he has the Trinisphere in hand, so a show and tell from Kjartan would just not do that much.
Nope. Not if he relies on the usual plan. If
Yeah.
there is a spaghetti guy hiding out in his hand, then
Though Kjartan might have sideboarded in something like Echoing Truth or something else just to be able to deal with cards like Trinisphere and just go off through it.
Yeah, he at least must have some options against permanent-based hate.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Jesper did not find the disruption spell in Thoughtseize or Cabal Therapy or whatever he might have, but he does have the Trinisphere, so Show and Tell from Kjartan is countered in a way. So we're gonna see. Kjartan, I believe, has both the third land and the Show and Tells here, so he might just try to go for it and execute his combo. And he's gonna run into Trinisphere that he's gonna have to slog through somehow. So I believe that it looks like he's going for it, given that he's fetching his mana and all that.
Yeah, I agree. That would indicate that.
So,
by the way, I of course forgot that on the Show and Tell, his opponents can put in the Trinisphere. Then if he doesn't have Emrakul, then of course it makes it an excellent card against Show and Tell, no matter what.
Yeah, and it's a good card to put into play. Though Jesper might want to fight over it anyway. Oh, exiling a Mist Hologriffin. That is always a good feeling when you play the Foodchain deck. It's pure value.
Making the Force of Will disadvantage.
Yeah.
Just the opposite.
Oh, and the Trinisphere comes into play, negating the Omniscience in a big way. So Jesper is in a decent position here to be able to just grind it out. And I'm not sure if Jesper has any other things that he wants to do here.
Maybe
he's tapping a mana, but
he
shouldn't be able to cast anything.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
Trinisphere affects all spells, not just non-creature or anything like that.
Because I believe he has an Extirpate in hand, but he's not able to cast it through the Trinisphere right now, because it would cost 3 mana, even though it has split second.
Yeah, and Kjartan points to...
it out, and that was brain fart from Jesper, I guess, just not remembering the Trinisphere in play. So exiling Show and Tells here, do you think that would be a good line, given that there's an Omniscience in play already for the opponent?
How do you mean exile with...
I believe he was pointing to it with Extirpate.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
If you can get rid of the Omniscience somehow, then it would be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But I'm not sure Show and Tell, exiling Show and Tell. Of course, it's better than nothing, of course. But I can't see the big advantage to it.
No, Kjartan is able to cast whatever he could put in through Show and Tell anyway. So something like Emrakul or stuff like that, it really doesn't come in through Show and Tell anymore.
No. And I mean the Tasigur is he had a threat in Tasigur, so that would indicate that either way the game is gonna end in. I mean it would take a few turns still, but the game is gonna end.
Yeah, sometime soon.
The game is probably not gonna drag on for 10 turns. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And here we see the power of Delve from both sides, able to resolve a 6 mana spell in Tasigur from Jesper and an 8 mana spell in Dig Through Time from Kjartan, through a Trinisphere really. So Dig Through Time costing 2 mana is really huge here.
Yeah, that is.
Kjartan is able to find whatever, and he found an Emrakul.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. So if this Omniscience lives for a turn, it's probably spells game for Jesper here.
That is a neat interaction with delve spells and cards like Trinisphere that they in a way can come around the the effect that Trinisphere does, even if it would cost more cards
Yeah.
from the graveyard.
So Jesper exiling Dig Through Time and sees the Emrakul in his hand, and
That is the game, yes.
Yeah, Kjartan is gonna cast the Emrakul for 3 mana on his turn, taking an extra turn and just attacking through exiling, making Jesper sacrifice all his permanents. So that's pretty much the end of that game.
Yeah, but I think both players execute the game plans very well. Of course, Jesper forgot his own Trinisphere but it's easily happened, and it didn't.
Didn't really impact the game.
Exactly.
The outcome. No, and well, that game too was really something.
Yeah, that is worth remembering.
Oh yeah.
If you're facing a Trinisphere